and welcome to Decorating Pages. I am your host, Kim Wanup. How's it going? How you doing? How you been? Thanks for listening. Thank you, sincerely. Thank you all for listening. I have been nonstop working on this podcast. It is going to be a great award season. I'm just letting you know. We're going to get into some very minute details with a lot of these amazing films coming out. But even today, I have one for you, and it's going to be a contender, I'm telling you. Today, I am talking to production designer Scott Chambliss and set decorator Andrew Baseman, and we are talking Kiss of the Spider-Woman, a film that swings from a dingy jail cell to a full-tilt MGM musical. I mean, what a dream job. Seriously. We get into color arcs and drapery and some design tricks that make fantasy feel honest. So I am so glad to have been able to speak to them about the film, and I am a huge fan of both of them. I might have dorked out a little bit in the beginning, but I edited it out because, I get embarrassed. But yeah, there's that. I do want to thank everyone again just for listening, for emailing me, for ratings and reviews. Thank you so much. If you haven't yet, please rate, review on whatever platform you are listening to. It helps me so much. And on YouTube, if you're watching the videos, give it a little like and subscribe. That would be awesome. And subscribe on your platforms too. Just subscribe everywhere. Just do it. Just do everything. It's cool. It's like one click and then you're done. You're cool. What's happening? What's going on? I want to plug the event that the International Production Design is helping with the Television Academy, which is the Charles Phoenix event this Thursday, October 23rd at the El Portal in North Hollywood. It is a big retro slideshow that he does. He is a very energetic and knowledgeable person, and I am so excited to go. And it's live. It's a slideshow. He talks. It's going to be great for like location managers too, and production designers seeing like locations throughout California of the 50s and 60s. That's still, the design of it. And then he has a special slideshow of stills never before seen, I think, of the 10 Commandments and the making of the 10 Commandments. So I can't wait for that. I'm going to let you in a little something that I know. Over 100 people from our production design peer group and a couple others staggered in are coming, at least. So it's a good little networking event, if anything. If you want to get out, have a night out, it's this Thursday. Let me see, what's this deal? You can get your tickets at the El Portal website, elportaltheater.com. Doors open and the main lobby mixer, yeah, I love a mixer, is at 6:30, and the main stage show starts at 7:30. So I will see you there. You can buy tickets again at the elportaltheater.com. I have also linked all this information in the email for this episode. If you are not getting the email, just go to decoratingpagespodcast.com, sign up for the email. I swear it's like once a week if I have an episode. If not, I don't bother you. I'm not into that. I have a limit, actually, of how many emails I can send out. So you're not going to get too many emails. I don't want to up my plan. You know what I mean? So you're not going to get too many. And you get a free quick reference set decorator or any decorator reference template. That's what I'm calling it. Which helps with measurements and sort of standards of and upholsteries. How much upholstery does this chair take? Things like that. So yeah. And then if you're there, you want to take the masterclass, you get 20% off. Look at that. Bam, bam, bam. You're getting free shit all the time. And come on out. Come to the event. All right, let's get to what Wanup's watching. Did you watch the documentary about John Candy? It's on Amazon. It's so good. It's called I Like Me. Oh my gosh. It's about his whole life growing up. It's so sad, and it's really just a montage of reporters being mean to him, asking about what's it like to be fat and funny. It's really not right, but those were the days. But what a genius comedic performer he was. And the amount of films that he did was unreal. And starting in SCTV, and they show it all. And his kids are in it, and his wife, and he's been gone like 30 years already. It's crazy that he's been gone that long. So I highly recommend that. I Like Me, John Candy on Amazon. I just finished Task. Woof. That was good. That is a great show. If you like Mayor of Easttown, I at first thought that Task wasn't as good. I kind of think they're neck and neck now. Mayor's edging out, but what a great written story. It's only 7 episodes, which really bums me out because I feel like it could have been more, just because I want to stay with this story. But also our industry, we're down to 7. What happened? We were at 8, we were 10, we were 24, we were 22, we were at 18, 10, maybe 12, 10, 8. This is odd. It's 7. Super weird, man. Super weird. But can't say enough about that. And the production design, they nailed it. Philly, you nailed it. There's a great scene. They run through this garage for like 2 seconds, and they got a freezer in there that has the Flyers logo on it. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Bravo to that team. I am watching the Murdoch Murders, which is a true story about the Murdoch murders. It's only 3 episodes out right now. It's on Hulu. It's like Southern contemporary, high-end, like these people are upper crust in the South. It's a true story. I don't really know enough about it, so it's interesting to me. Patricia Arquette's in it. I like it. Production designer Dave Blass and set decorator Amy McGarvey. Great job so far, man. A lot of interesting little interiors, and they go down to Cabo or something. Yeah, I like it. I'm sticking with it. I got to see a screening of the film, which I don't think is out yet, but it's called No Other Choice by director Park Chan-wook, who I love. I have loved his work since Old Boy. And when I saw Old Boy, I started renting back when you could get 1, 2, or 3 DVDs from Netflix. I was renting all of his films back then. I went on a huge Korean film blast back then. Yeah, there's a lot of great Korean films out there. They're all little like they mind fuck you. It's good. They've got some great films. I am not going to butcher the designer and decorators names, but I thought they did a fantastic job. There is a beautiful house that I am sure is a build in this, and it also gave me a real sense of residential design in Korea and modern day. I don't know. It's a good film. I didn't know where it was going to go. I really didn't know what it was about. It's very vague in its descriptions that I've read, but it's good. It's a good one. And then just today, I was lucky enough to go to a screening of Hedda, which is on Amazon, and it is production designer Kara Brower and set decorator Stella Fox. Hedda was I believe a Broadway show theater show, and they've made it into a film about a very eccentric woman, and it takes place at one night in one party, and the actress who plays her, I really want to give a shout out to because she's really good. Just her expressions. Tessa Thompson. What else has she been in? Hold on. Let's see. Creed, Thor, Passing. She was good. She was really good in it. Beautiful mansion. I believe they shot out and probably some interior builds, but it's set in the 20s. And I am going to be talking to production designer Kara Bauer, so you'll hear that soon-ish. I'll get it to you. All right. What else? Anything? Oh, I actually got a shout out that people like. Well, one person, maybe more, likes the new theme song. Thank you very much. Thank you. I put a lot of effort into that and getting that done. So thanks a lot for that. All right, let's get to it. Today's episode is some heavy hitters. Production designer Scott Chambliss, who you know from his work in the sleek futurism of Star Trek, Star Trek Into Darkness, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Godzilla, and set decorator Andrew Baseman for the first season of Severance, the Maximus glamour of Crazy Rich Asians, and the show that I really loved was Mindhunter on Netflix. These two come together for Kiss of the Spider-Woman. And it's a kind of a design challenge that stitches two films into one. This like claustrophobic jail cell, and then this full tilt fantasy of a golden age MGM musical. I mean, what a dream project, right? Scott and Andrew break down how they plotted the visual gear change between these worlds, starting with the restrained palette and the textures, and then opening up into Technicolor and buttercreams and lacquered reds and drapery that moves like the dancers. And we get into a bead motif. We talk about beads. What's better, wood beads, crystal beads? We get into that because beads play a role in this. Like beaded curtains. Talking about beaded curtains. And graphics. Graphics are so important, and this poster is very key and essential to the story, and talking about getting into those graphics. A supper club that is reincarnated into a hotel suite, which they completely fooled me. I had no idea it was the same suite, same set moved over. So you can see everything we're talking about on the YouTube channel. I put together a YouTube video for pretty much every interview I do now, back almost 2 years. So if you have any interest, get on over to that YouTube channel and check it out to see what we are talking about. And also go see the film in theaters. It's out now. I hope you enjoy. Severance and Mindhunter, and I mean, I'm in all of those sets.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to talk to you. What a fun film to dive into. I mean, besides like a not a sci-fi and not a serial killer, like you guys got to really push the color and push the fun on this one. How did you get involved?
You'd worked with Bill years and years ago.
Yes, I did an early movie of Bill's. I did Kinsey 20, I think 20 plus years ago. And we really bonded over our love of musicals. So on set, we would quiz each other and talk musicals. And I always said, I'd love to work with you if we ever do a musical. And here we are. Just a few years later, got my wish.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
That's pretty good. For me, it came out of nowhere. I mean, I've been so typecast as a science fiction designer at this point. But
that's not a bad thing.
What's that?
That's not a bad thing either. I mean,
No, it's been fine. I'm grateful for the career, but I mean, honestly, I got to the point where I didn't think I could pull another spaceship out of my ass. I've just done so many of them. My agent, who knows the kinds of work that I love and that I've always wanted to do, which is this sort of thing, she was talking with Bill's producer and really strongly suggesting you guys need to meet Scott. He's not had an opportunity to do something like this before, but he's raring to go, and I think you're going to like him because he knows the world that this movie takes place in. So they actually took her seriously, and we made an appointment on a Friday, and by Monday I had the job.
Nice. One weekend, and I'm on the gig. Did you have to? I mean, in the discussion of it, and you're talking with him, and obviously there's been theatrical and movie releases of this.
Yeah.
Was the point to stick close to the book, or like or we're going to reinvent? Like, what was that conversation like?
Well, he's been wanting to make this movie for 10 years. And what he wanted to do was go back to the source material, take the novel, obviously look at Hector Blanco's film, and also take all the information of the Broadway musical and synthesize it and make his own version, his own story of it. And he's done something none of the other pieces did before. The movie within the movie being an MGM-style musical, that's never existed before in the story. And because he knows the world of musicals so well, he's the perfect guy to have seen this tale through that lens and manifested on the big screen.
Right. Um,
And
okay.
when I read the script, I'm familiar with the musical. I've seen it
Oh.
when it first came out on Broadway. So I'm assuming, reading the script, that it's going to be a more literal adaptation of that. And immediately on the page, these lyrics came up, and I was like, these don't sound familiar. And I was thinking maybe it's new lyrics for one of the songs already, in the show. And then further into the script, more lyrics popped off the page that I just never seen before. And then discovered that Bill had gone deep into the archives of Cantor and Ebb and used songs that were written for, I think it was at SUNY Purchase. It was workshopped with Hal Prince before Cheetah Rivera was even involved. And the musical within the story uh, was very different, and so there was lots of material that hadn't been used in the Broadway production. So he was able to resurrect those and insert them into the movie.
So he's gone back like to the 70s, like to back before it was like the
Well, it went
play.
from
Was
a
it
book
the book
to
in
a
the 70s?
play to a movie to a Broadway musical, and then to
Went
our
back to musical.
production. So
Yeah.
he went back to the book, the original book, and but then I think the Cantor and Ebb archives, let him use what you know what he wanted for it.
And when you're reading that, what kind of visions do you have for those? I mean, I know you're saying like the MGM musicals, but are you thinking about the dramatic difference from the cell to these
All
pops
the
of
time.
color? Is yeah, that
Yeah, all
yeah,
the juxtaposition is it's so jarring that it starts out with them in the cell,
yeah,
and then when he starts describing it, there's the crescendo. The music starts up, and then the shock of color is so, I think, so spectacular.
brilliant, brilliant.
And then immediately it goes right back to the cell, and then we finish the number. And the audience, the few times I've seen it, the audience just sort of lets out a sigh because we're escaping with them both, and seeing this spectacular world of inspired by MGM musicals of the 40s and 50s.
I thought we'd start with the dirty, by the way. I thought we'd start with the cell and then go to the color because I mean, you transform the cell as much as he can, as much as he brings into his, his passion and his color and everything, but it's still a really drab cell. And this was a build, right? This was a build? Yeah.
And that's, you're touching on the tricky nature of the structure of this story, because it's essentially two very different movies that are woven together into one. And it's, God forbid, one of those movies is so much more engaging than the other one is, that you're always jonesing to be, with the musical moments, or you're jonesing to be back with the prison drama because it's so human and touching. Therefore, Andrew and I, we had to visually create this balance between the two so that one was just as engaging as the other, except the terms of engagement are completely different.
Right.
Without that complete difference, potent on both sides, the story wouldn't work at all.
Yeah. I mean, the story in the cell is so personalized and so intimate because they're in this little tiny cell together.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there was a lot of discussion of what he actually brought with him, what he was allowed to bring with him, and how I actually love the reveal of the poster gradually throughout the story. I thought that was really really great and brilliant of like he's revealing the story and then you're revealing that poster. Um do you want to talk?
Well,
Okay.
the first photo you showed was Valentine before Melina, and so you can see there's really, it's just his books. his bed, and a candle. There's like no personal touches at all. So we were able to transform the cell with Melina's homey touches, and then created, as the two of them became closer, it really was their, it was their haven,
Yeah.
I guess.
And also keeping it muted. I mean, you don't want to give away the other side of the story and keeping all of their stuff muted. Was there a lot of talk about these beads and the sound of the beads and like moving the beads? And that's what I was thinking
Well, the
about.
beats became a thing because they're scripted. I believe they were scripted, Scott, that there were crystal beads.
Yeah.
And so I looked for crystal beads because the we use beads in other sets as well. In the Gimme Love number, there's actual crystal beads, very heavy, expensive
With a
crystal
weird
beads
thread. Yeah.
that really looked great, I think. When we go back to his home, when Melina is released, those actual beads I had shipped from the U.S. To Uruguay, and we use them in his doorway,
Right.
tying in, his reality with the fantasy. And then I was looking for crystal beads for here as well, and couldn't find them. And so the only thing we could find were these wooden beads. But I I I can't imagine anything better than these wooden
Yeah.
beads because they're just like,
Perfect.
cheap man's version of the other, and they would have looked really out of place if they were the crystal beads that we were actually looking for. So, yeah, it really worked out for the best.
Yeah. I
Well,
think.
he uses them in such a theatrical manner.
Yeah.
They're like his signature piece in there.
Shutting his curtains and like yeah. But I was when I was
Awesome.
watching that, I was like, oh man, the sound guy must have hated that. Like, but oh well, sound guy.
It was effective, I thought, hearing
Oh,
it.
definitely, because it's emotion. He gave it emotion.
Yeah.
It was great. Um, do you wanna? Can I ask you about the graphics of the film and
Sure.
getting to this end point and these old movie posters?
Yeah. They it's tricky stuff getting things like this to look authentic, especially when you have a recognizable star who's going to be the face of them. But we had a really talented graphic designer working with us named Mark Chang. He's based in New York, and we just kept hitting at it to find the right language. And there's like, I'm sure there's a whole range of quality of work in those old movie posters, and some are just pieces of art
Yeah.
completely on their own terms, and others are, lurid like a cheap paperback novel. And those have their own charms because Bill was trying to hit the note that this was an MGM musical, but it wasn't one of their, prestige pictures, an A-lister. This was more like a Joe Pasternak produced kind of second tier musical with a second tier star in it.
Right.
And
Right.
it's a lurid subject matter in the first place. So it needed to have a flavor of cheese to it
Yeah.
that was unmistakable right away. So without, turning it into some piece of camp stupidity, we attempted to give it all of those nuances. And the same with the companion piece, Endless Night. Um, that's, a pot boiler noir
Mm.
feeling thing. But, we don't want to make fun of them. We just want to embrace what's wonderful about
I mean, I wish that was the poster though. I feel like they should use that in marketing. They should have used that
them. I
one.
think
Oh, I have
it
to
would
read
have
it.
confused the audience. I
Um,
mean,
well,
It was also printed on beautiful, cheesy, like newsprint. It was on,
mm,
it was on, a very appropriate paper stock that would have been
yeah,
originally used. So that added to it as well, I think.
oh, it's great. I love, I mean, there's graphics is so important and tells such stories in the background that I just love pointing out all the graphics and everything because I know it's a lot of work and it's a lot of clearances and it's a lot going on those
Well,
posters.
thanks for noticing because I
Oh my
think
God, yeah.
graphics are so important. And Scott and Mark did a fantastic job, I think, with the graphics throughout.
Yeah, that
it's true. Because
headshots.
graphics can be so deeply crappy so easily.
Yeah.
They always draw your attention, and it's hard not to think everything looks fake. We're just so accustomed. to artifice in that world, and it may just be, the three of us because this is our job and we know it's fake and we're working hard to make it look real. But in my mind, I try to avoid graphics whenever I can because I
Mhm.
don't want to be pulled out of the story by them.
Yeah.
Well, there's so many times where I'll see a movie and it'd be like, hospital, and
Uh,
it'll look okay, but then not aged.
yeah.
And that's the one thing that always gets me when, y- you know, clearly it's a plant on and it is not aged at all. And if it's
Yeah.
been outside for more than a week, it's going to have some kind of something on it. So when things look too sparse, I mean, too clean, that, takes me away from it.
I mean, even this, you have popped up edges and creases and everything within the poster to show that he's put it up and down a couple times. He's folded it in his bag and, that type of wear and tear, but he's taking care of it because yeah.
Well, Scott, of course, well, Scott can talk about his own collection of posters, but this has the actual folds, the distribution folds
Mm.
on, correct, Scott? I mean, I
Oh,
think
you
that's,
bet.
yeah, so it's the rights.
Folds, it would be.
Yeah.
Um, so you shot this in New Jersey, right? But no, the cell? Oh, I thought you did
This,
the cell
this is
was
it.
on location.
Yeah, that was in Uruguay.
Wow. Oh, so you did all of this in Uruguay. Wow. So
Yeah.
so you went to a closed, rundown prison, correct?
Pigeon infested, dangerous, falling ceiling. Didn't have this, the prison didn't have any of this hardware in here. Those doors we constructed, the rail, the lighting, that was all, none of that existed.
Oh, wow.
It did have the walkways. They were unusable though, and we had to do some reinforcing to be able to use the premises. And we built into the far end of the prison to create entrances and places that didn't exist there because it had just like torn apart.
I really do. There's such a key point in the film with the design of the door for the cell, and how much they can look out, and how much he can see, and little by little they close them off to the world, and and the vents and everything. I thought that was really genius about getting the vents in there so you can see the feet, and you can
Yeah.
like get the little peephole and whatever. So
And the illusion of privacy. That's where watching Hector Babenco's 80s movie was really helpful
mm,
because it really is claustrophobic being in a cell all the time. And I wanted to see what tricks, if any, that they did to to break the claustrophobia without breaking the sense of security in there. And they didn't do the sorts of tricks that we designed into our set. And I think I like what we were able to achieve
yeah.
with just those little details that you're pointing out, because there's a lot more visual drama with that than just the hard, solid doors with the one little peep window. That's that.
Yeah. I mean, to see like foot or hear footprints or see footprints coming towards you, it's not going to be good with these guards. So it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
Then you had this huge outside courtyard, which I mean, this place looks pretty run down already, but you're enhancing that even? Yeah.
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 It's funny, those big blocks that you see in the courtyard. That was just the large pieces themselves. That was some kind of art installation, believe it or not.
Hmm.
And we weren't going to be able to move them off the premises, so we just turned it into what looked like a demo slash construction site where they were making cinder blocks out of concrete and rubble.
Yeah, I was wondering about those. Is that like, because I was like, are they like breaking up? Are they making rocks? Are they making stones? Like, it works because it looks like they're putting the people to work. So,
Yeah, doing something.
yeah, they're doing something in there.
I forgot about the cinder block. We had the cinder block guy who
Yeah,
showed him how to make cinder blocks. There was a whole little area
Ah,
there um, of creating cinder blocks
yeah.
for real. And I guess that didn't make it into the final cut, but we
that's
saw.
You get bits of it as the
Yeah,
camera passes by, which is all we needed. We didn't
yeah.
want to examine it too closely.
how,
No musical number about the cinder
yeah,
blocks.
they got them all over their heads. How long did you shoot down there?
5 weeks.
5 weeks. And then is that
9 days of prep.
okay?
We literally wrapped up New Jersey. I came over, I think, 2 or 3 days in advance of everybody else, so I could see our location options first. And I think we had about 10 days of prep before we started shooting for 5 weeks.
On the whole, how much prep did you have for the film?
Yeah.
Year.
Well, I think we really got started sometime in February, Andy, right?
I think we had like 6 or 7 weeks.
Yeah, and we started shooting. We had hard shoot dates because of Jennifer's schedule, and I think we started shooting April 3rd and wrapped it May 5th or something like that
Wow,
in New Jersey, just all the musical numbers.
that
And
is
then we
cool.
came here.
That is so quick considering how much that you built and the choreography, I would think, and the songs and everything going into that. I feel like that's really tight.
Jennifer
They
started
started.
rehearsing with the choreography in November the year before. She had already been, I think, 3 weeks into rehearsing in December when I first started talking with Bill.
Mm.
So she had a good head start.
Thank you so much for sharing set details and floor plans because I dork out about that. I love looking at. I love looking like at the ADG presentations. I look at them throughout the year, and I just go back and I'm like, wow, how they built that? That's great. I love it. I love the ADG presentations. But we're looking at your Aurora's apartment bedroom suite details and your inspiration board and just can you talk about how you came upon like specifically the style that you wanted and then the color for the room because the
Think
color you chose isn't you know what I mean, that's not in the research.
Yeah, it's funny, the actual colors came a little later.
Mm.
But Andrew and I, we have a lot of the same reference points in terms of decorators we love and periods that we love. So it was fun, Andrew, showing you these my initial boards, and you instantly like picking out what things were and knowing how to take the sensibility and run with it.
I love good research, and you are a master of that. And the picture of the bed. I mean, we really use that as a stepping stone, and I was able to copy some of the feeling.
Yeah.
That's a rendering guide.
Yeah.
Here's the actual room.
Yeah.
So the feeling of the panel, the paneled wall, and um, just the feel of the room.
Yeah.
The color scheme, Scott, tell Kim about the color scheme because that did change or it was altered. I don't really remember where we started. I mean, this is obviously where we ended up.
Yeah, it's Bill wanted the first number to be a sock in the jaw, of Technicolor, and I understood that, but also thought that that's great, but we have a dramatic storytelling arc that we need to achieve with the color story as well as the design itself of each of the different musical spaces, because they start in this place, which is kind of fairy tale princessy. It's very much what it is. But as we go further into the drama, the musical numbers themselves, while still maintaining a period sensibility, they become more abstract
Right.
and they become more artificial and more theatrical and more emotional. That. So I thought, in terms of color, so that we can travel distances in Technicolor as we go through the numbers, that I would start in a place that was more muted. Instead of being this saturation point, what I originally pitched was very elegant, kind of silver blue gray with very trim and really pastel-y kind. It was more flesh colored bathroom
Mhm.
Mm.
than Suck You in the Kiss or Salmon. And Bill, he liked the balance, but he wanted full velocity Technicolor, boom, saturated. So we did, and because the palette itself was still so constricted, it's just blue just the buttercream, and then the big smacky salmon when you open the bathroom door.
Mhm.
It gave us more places to travel as we continued on in the story, so that the big color explosion really happened when we were in the village for the first time
Mm.
in that shot, and you saw all the colorful costumes and all that stuff.
I was obsessed with this set. It was the first set that we shot, and I love a tight palette, and it was really fun to find all these pieces, these 1940s art moderne. It's not deco, it's
Yeah.
not mid-century. It's Hollywood-Regency. I
Yeah,
guess that's what you call it now. But um, there's a lot of French influences in it, but it's really fantasy. So to establish that creamy trim color, and then have the furniture go with it, all the pieces like the vanity and the other shot, if you can show that
Yeah.
previously. Yeah, the secretary and then the vellum
Yeah.
piece out on the hallway, those were all, we didn't paint those at all.
Oh, wow.
Those were rented. They were very expensive. They were rented. And then we painted the frame of the sofa and the frame of the ottoman to match. So it was, we had some good luck finding pieces that really matched nicely and set the tone.
you did amazingly well. The things that Andrew would come up with his shoppers and fill our warehouse space with were extraordinary.
Mm. I love.
I love doing it, and we should also say that we were working within a budget.
Yeah,
This was a tight budget, so some pieces here are actually new, and shame on me because they're not actual antiques, but they work. I'm not gonna say which ones they are, but they work beautifully, I think.
No, I'm not. I can't tell a thing. I love that the tufted wall and then the detail above the mirrors going into the hallway of the tufted. Is it satin? It's satin or is it silk or that you have?
It's a satin.
Satin.
I think it was a grosgrain satin,
Mm.
yeah,
a little texture to it, or a file. I think it was a file.
And also, I have to say, this picture particularly is fantastic that you catch the vanity reflection in the mirror. That's like, it's such a perfect picture. It's so great.
it
Um,
was such a great set to shoot.
yeah, and such an introduction to this character. That's
Yeah,
what's so great. It's like, boom, she's here. Boom. This is the story that he's going to tell him, and it's like it's so intense on
yeah.
screen. Yeah, it's great.
It's so fucking girly, We're in this nasty prison,
Thank you.
and
Yeah,
now we're in
I mean, yeah.
Melina's mind,
You
his fantasy of how he wants to live.
you're going from the beats to
Yep,
the real deal. Yeah.
yep.
No, it's great. I also love your renderings and everything just as influence for everyone to see and I always love a good rendering to help
Yeah,
out.
they're so important because
Yeah.
the closer you can get to what the final idea is, the better. It gives you an opportunity to either accept it and go on the ride, or the director to reject it entirely and say, try again.
Yeah. In time.
It's
In
really,
time. Give us
yeah,
time. Yeah.
very helpful for me too. I worked with the graphic artist to put in pieces that we actually found. So you'll see some of the pieces are the actual ones and others are
Right.
holding, but yeah, I think it really
That's always
it
helpful.
came together. Yeah.
Show what I have. Show what I can get. It's not some illusion that I can't get
Yeah.
or have made in my
Right,
budget.
right.
And the bathroom, as you said, like the salmon color that pops through the bathroom. And again, a fantastic picture of the room being reflected in the mirror is another fantastic thing. I don't know if that's real. I don't know. Is that real? Is that real?
That's that is the what would be the real reflection in there, but what was in that photograph was just a black dude that was hanging
Oh,
for lighting.
okay.
You fooled me, Scott, once again.
Because I was like, wow, that's like, then I was like, well, the photographer's not in there, but it's a
It's
perfect
funny.
picture.
I have to tell you, Kim, and Andy knows this already. The when Bill and I first started working on this, he said, "I just have to let you know I hate pink." I was like, "What?"
Well,
He said, "Yes, I know, and Barbie's out there, and everybody loves it.
yeah.
I just hate pink, so don't do pink." And I thought, okay, so here is our first set up, and here's this bedroom. That's the blue and the yellow, and this is the only color that would work and be the right technicolor contrast. Period. But I didn't tell. I just
You just let
It's
him
also
walk in.
salmon. Let's be real.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not Barbie
not.
pink.
yeah.
It's salmon.
And I knew that he would see it for the first time in its context and get it. He's a smart guy, and he did. He was like, okay, well, I hate pink. This is wonderful. Great.
Well, that's good. I mean, isn't that the best part of like trust between everyone of like just trust me, this is gonna work. Like I let there's so many positions in on a film and TV and just trust people to do their jobs. Trust.
It's rare to come by. I think it's
Yeah.
the product of long-term relationships more than it is first-timers encountering each other, which was the case here.
No fear.
I think once Bill started seeing the sets and seeing that they were coming together in a pleasing manner for him, he started to relax a bit more, but it was tricky getting there.
How many stages did you guys have?
Three,
Did
maybe four if you count the stupid rehearsal hall that we had to trick out.
fun. Was everything built or did you have to build, take down and build?
It was, yeah,
Yeah.
it was half
Did
and
it?
half, really. We had to fill our first stage with the first three sets to shoot because,
Four sets actually. Wasn't it four? Jungle Hut,
oh yeah,
Oh,
Aurora's, nightclub, ballroom.
ballroom and the supper club.
Yeah.
oh
Yeah,
wow.
supper club, ballroom, bedroom, jungle hut, right?
And
And
then
that was only like 5 days worth of shooting.
That was week one.
Yeah, and then we went away to a different location entirely, shot a few days there, and then came back and
but it's not like that helps. I mean, Andrew, I mean, I know. Oh, we'll start on location so you guys can get the builds done. That doesn't help me.
Well, but it was actually great having four completely different sets ready at the get-go.
Well,
And they were so, big and colorful that it was inspiring for everybody. So I think that it was great getting that out of the way and also setting the tone.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and everyone's seeing it. Also, the crew and everyone getting that vibe of this is what we're doing. I think that always lends to like the excitement and people, getting it done.
yeah, for sure.
Seeing sets in process and having people comment on them is not something I like.
Also, I'm looking at this. I haven't seen this for quite a while.
Mhm.
Your plan of the ballroom, it reminded me of your original plan for Aurora's, which was
Oh,
at least twice the size and had it was two different rooms, wasn't it, Scott?
Yeah, it was a
round.
sitting room and a bedroom and a
Oh, nice. Yeah, the evolution, you try so many things sometimes, and a lot of times it comes into stage space. How are we going to fit it in there?
budget. There was a lot in this film that we just couldn't afford to do. There was a big dream sequence that was inspired by the American Paris ballet
Mm.
that was going to take place in the village. We had to cut that. We had to cut one entire side of the village set because we couldn't afford to build all four sides. So that meant,
Yeah. Well, scale it down. Make it big. Write it big, scale it down. Was- yeah.
yeah, in this case.
Big. We're looking at the Allure Ballroom board and influence, and then seeing your final concept with this huge dance space in the middle,
Yeah.
which is sometimes scary that there's nothing there. Don't you find that? Oh, should we put something over here? Should
Well, there was a lot of stuff in there that we
there
took
was
away.
there
There were
was oh
at
okay.
least twice the number of tables and chairs,
Mm,
but it became apparent that they needed the space for the dance, and you don't miss them at all. I mean,
no.
you see the tables and chairs in the background, but
Getting bodies in there fills it up
yeah.
quickly. I love the gold chairs. I love these gold chairs. I mean, it's so pretty. And then these backlit screens that you've designed around the room also are so pretty and give such great light detail when they're dancing and behind them, and it's really pretty gold and dark, like a dark blue, like a royal blue set.
Yeah.
See? Yeah.
And this is all the gold here. It was inspired by Pauline's dress for Jennifer.
I
This was
love that dress. Oh my God, I love that dress.
silver originally, but as soon as I learned that she was going to be in a gold lame number, it's like, okay,
Oh, it's
that's
Yeah, her dresses were just spectacular,
yeah.
and just the pop of color and how they fit into the sets were just gorgeous.
Was that a lot of back and forth with costumes about playing off of what she's going to wear, or maybe, hey, this room's going to be, bluish and salmon? Like, was that?
it was kind of an effortless communication
Mm.
with Colleen and Bill, because we would always have a moment at the start of speaking of a space like this, and whether or not she had a photo to show me of Jennifer wearing something, trying it on, if she just mentioned what she was doing with colors, we were always in sync as a result because we were listening to each other.
Oh,
And I
nice.
wasn't getting stuck on this. I wasn't going to paint this gold, this set at all. It was going to be platinum. It's going to be silver highlights, but the dress got to go for now.
Yeah. I think that's my favorite dress of hers in the film. I think when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, is that real?
Yeah.
Can someone buy it? Can I buy that?
And I think, if I recall correctly, for the Aurora bedroom, Colleen was actually putting Jennifer into a pink slip, not the ivory that matches the room, but she saw the illustration for the room and changed it to
Nice.
go.
No, it's all everything just works so perfectly together in this film. And then you have the sets that really homage the MGM, like the Singing in the Rain, this girls, American in Paris with this interior club, Macambo. I'm gonna say it wrong. Macambo. I love this. I love this. Oh man, I love this. Striking red, and then like these black sort of highlights. If black can highlight, but yeah, it's now. Did you pick um how do I say this? Like to absorb the color? Do you know what I mean? Like you're absorbing the color rather than reflecting it with your
Yeah,
furnishing.
sure. But it's, I mean, it's much more intense this way. Didn't didn't want to have, if you're talking literally about not having glossy reflections at all.
Right. Right.
Green, for sure. And it's supposed to, I mean, it's supposed to feel theatrical and artificial and emotional. It's not supposed to feel like a glamorous interior at all. We're in like a drugged dream space now. And that's why the gestural quality of this slashing marks are the way they are. This isn't a happy-go-lucky moment in the story.
Mhm.
Oh,
Um,
I mean, Scott and Bill and I, we all understand this, but I wonder if a lot of the moviegoers are gonna they're not gonna know this reference, but I wonder if they're gonna get that it is stylized and not just like poorly done. Or I wonder, because it is such a specific homage to MGM musicals.
yeah. It's the theatricality that they so often embraced.
well,
And
I think smart people get it.
people who've been exposed to it, they know what
Yeah.
they're looking
I
for. People
mean,
who
American in
stuff.
Paris. I mean, film students, these are things they should be. I mean, they should be studying Cedric Gibbons and Edward
Yes.
Williams. I mean, I've been I'm putting out a whole class on them basically, and just studied like Ziegfeld Follies and American in Paris, and I love all that. I just love their influence, which is hundreds of films that they influence with their designs. Although he did thousands of films, which is weird.
Well, the fact that we got to do something like this, it was a real gift. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
don't you
mean,
think, Scott? Like,
isn't
when do you get the chance to do sets like this? I mean, it
something
was
so
just yeah.
abstract and so bold? It's so fantastic. And
Doing this was, in many ways, a dream come true because I've always wished during my design career that I had lived back then when they
me
did
too.
these
Mhm.
things.
Me too.
And look, we
Yeah.
got to do one. It's a miracle.
Yeah. And
And
was
one thing we had to excuse me,
okay.
we we worked closely with the choreographers because inevitably in all these sets, they're dancing on top of furniture. They're needing space between, set dressing. So there was a lot of back and forth with them as well.
And was this scripted like this, or was this like talked about of like this is what I want to do, this is what this design will be for this
You know,
song?
we wound up here typically, right, through the design process of, Bill and I talked about a couple of different reference numbers that we thought were interesting and had the right tonal quality, but my brain was going in a very different direction from this initially.
Mm,
And what I was doing was feeling it was steamy and kind of tropical feeling.
mm,
It felt more like um, it referenced the jungle, Spider Woman, all of that stuff in ways that the Jungle Hut was hitting a little bit. And I just kept getting bogged down in the visual detail of where my brain was going. And so I just put a stop on that and was looking at the movie Like Girls for a different number. I was finding inspiration in the opening number of Like Girls for the set for our finale, actually, in the movie's staircase set. But in the process, I watched this number and thought, oh my goodness, look at that.
yeah.
And the quality of the gestural, sketchy, and just emotional paintbrush quality of that felt like, oh, this is the language of the emotion in this moment. And what if instead of being playful like this, we did a variation on the theme, made it feel edgy and somewhat dangerous?
Yeah, the black,
That's
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's how this wound up to be what it is.
And did you have or did the DP, did he have concerns about this and lighting in red, like the red and just having the few?
You know,
No,
he was completely turned on by it. In fact, he
right?
just super saturated the red with his lights as well, and got the white keys, so it felt like an old movie lighting job and not super abstract. But the actual opening of this number before Jennifer walked in that we filmed, it was all red lit. It was all the extras doing a big crowd thing first, and then she walks in the door, and it looked appropriately surreal. But he was in film.
Mm. Oh, I like to seen that.
That's pretty cool.
And also, we have a painter doing the painting of it, and just I love painter. I mean, God bless the painters. They're worth millions with their talent and how much they can help a piece of furniture, or they can
Mhm.
draw a faux, marble, anything. I mean, the painters are so important in our world.
It's so true. And this guy was a master at doing this kind of line work. He was one of the old school guys.
Mm,
We had great painters on this show. New
yeah,
York, of
New
course.
York, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
all right. The Palace Hotel. Now, I feel that when you're talking about color and the progression of this film, you start to get a little darker, a little deeper, a little like more into the story. You've changed your palette a little, you know. You're taking
yeah,
more
and
lighter
we're
colors.
following the moods of the songs as well. So this is a very different kind of song and very different.
In the hotel suite, which is towards the end of the film. But these
Yeah,
beautiful velvets and the leather and the curtain pattern and everything to play off of these colors are fantastic.
they're beautiful.
Yeah,
Andy, you're so good at what you
I
do.
love that.
Oh,
I love that sofa.
Really are.
there were some more flowers that didn't. I think we got the flowers like the morning of the shoot,
Right.
so
I thought I
some
had.
of them aren't in these shots. But
Yeah.
um, and the bedroom you don't see very much of. You see Molina at this vanity. If you look closely, the hair receiver, that lidded box, has a spiderweb pattern on it.
Oh, beautiful. I did not
Um,
notice that.
but then you saw Jennifer's reflection in the trifold mirror. But I really love this room. Scott's colors were so inspiring to fill up with stuff. I just love the two rooms together.
Yeah, they really played together so well. Yeah, we weren't in that bedroom a lot, were we?
No, I couldn't see it.
It's a beautiful bed.
Yeah.
Beautiful sheets, beautiful curtain. I
You
mean,
do see her on the bedspread, and I'm glad the
right.
pattern is so bold that you really do see that.
Yeah. Um, so was this one of the first sets, or this was a takedown and then you rebuilt?
I think it's the last set
Oh,
we shot before I think you might have even been gone when we shot this, Scott.
I was gone when you shot it. I left right before you guys got in here. This is actually just a redo of the Super Club, the bright orange number where the mambo
oh yeah.
takes place. This is that same set. Actually, we just subdivided it with the entry wall on the left that takes you into a bedroom. If you pulled that out and removed the fireplace, you'd realize it's the same space.
You fooled me.
And that's so MGM. They would have done that
Yeah.
back in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah. Repaint, redress, flip the walls around. Isn't that? I mean, we're amazing. And then, I mean, the jungle, the kiss, the spider is what you're waiting for. That's what you're waiting for in this film. I mean, that's a lot of nice greens you got there. We have your concept drawing, and then your jungle surrounded by blue screen, and
So funny.
it's so fun.
We had a great greens guy named Mike Thompson, and he totally got the idea of let's do something that feels luscious and fake and, delightfully theatrical, and don't try to make it feel like an authentic jungle, please.
Yeah,
And I think he hit the balance really beautifully.
I think it's a very hard line, though.
Yeah.
It's a very hard line to be like,
It's true. And it's funny too. It's like one of those cases where if you're an audience member who's never seen an old movie that's got a soundstage jungle in it from 1948, you're going to look at this and go,
right,
"What the fuck?
yeah.
That is so phony." Yes, it is.
Yeah, I hope. Well, I feel like the audience who's watching this gets it. So I feel I don't know. I feel like plus you're in this imaginary world with them the whole time. You want it to be the fantasy.
Sure.
You want that kiss. You want that kiss to come. I love this set. This set I love. The Melina's movie set that you did, which curtains and drapery is like it's so fantastic. And it's so hard to get those drapes so perfect. So kudos to your draperer for doing all this. Um, it's
And we had the art director who was supervising this for us had spent a huge chunk of his career touring Phantom of the Opera. So
oh,
if anybody knew how to make stage drapes work, it was him.
it's very Ziegfeld Follies to me. That staircase and the drapery is beautiful. How did you come up with this color scheme and this? Are they all blue or are they white that are lit?
They're actually gray, and
They're
that's some
gray.
light on
Mhm.
them. The environment itself was gold. We kept the gold light on that. And then we've got all the women in red costumes. There's a, I don't think any of us keyed in on it at the time. There's a number that Andy and I love called, you probably saw it if you saw Ziegfeld Follies,
Yes.
Lighthouse Blues,
The
the
ending?
Chinese
The Chinese, yes. Oh yeah.
dream sequence.
Yes. Oh yeah.
It's one of my favorite things. I watch that sequence over and over just for inspiration. There's so much there. It turns out that this set for this number has almost exactly the same intense color palette.
Oh wow.
It's blue, it's the gold and the
Yeah.
red.
No, it's a beautiful contrast and so elegant,
Yeah.
really. Um, Andrew, how'd you get this much yardage?
We we bought them out. We worked on this for quite a while, and we knew that it was really important to get the drape just so. So Paul, who did the was our art director, as Scott mentioned, did just a fantastic job. I don't know who else could have done, something this grand and pulled it off as he did. So we're so thankful. But yeah, we just bought a lot of fabric,
Yeah.
and he worked with the fabricator to get the swags right and to get the lines right for the reveals. One thing I did that you sadly don't see in the finished movie is in Melina's house, in his bedroom. I had similar chiffon curtains in his bedroom in front of a vanity. So
Mm.
that was another little touch that would have tied it in, but uh,
I think
I know it's there.
I don't.
And do you remember the mannequins too in the shop window?
Yes.
For all of these, there's a tremendous amount of material at the end of the movie when Molina's out of prison and he's going on
Yes.
his life and doing his thing. That's not in the movie at all. It's
Oh.
story detail after detail after detail that we're just cut, and it's fine. I think it's very strong the way it is. But we had all of these um, not that subtle visual references to things that we were going to experience in this musical number at the very end when he dies that we were foreshadowing because they were pieces of his everyday life. Those blue curtains and the red dresses that the girls are wearing are something that we see in the shop window that he's looking at before he's killed. And
Mm.
it's this connective tissue that is lost now.
Well, we know it's there now.
Yes.
We know. I expect nothing less from this dynamic duo. I expect nothing less.
A lot of cuts that are made are all for the better. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
much tighter ending, and
You bet.
we miss those things, but no one else will really miss them.
I
don't
always
think.
say there should be a designer cut. Forget director's cut. There should be a designer's cut of
I
like
would love that.
yes, and then decorator details. Like
Yes.
yes. Um the painting technique that you had for the back. I was going to ask about too. That is like you said it's a silver and then it's like sponged on top to get that.
Yeah, it's old. It's total old school scenic tricks.
Mm,
We
it's
did.
beautiful. It's beautiful. The supper club. It's a fun set. I mean, that is fun. The floor, the graphics on the flooring, that sort of, and this is a big number in the film.
Yeah,
This is her like big time. She shows who she really is, I think, in this sequence. Um, were you, so wait, so this is the hotel room? Is that what you just told me?
yeah.
What? Where'd the stage go? No.
Cover that.
It's beautiful. And these lighting, so did you get chandeliers and then put in all the
We did.
trees? Yeah.
We found faux twiggy uh, chandeliers that were metal, and then we added the large leaves and the white branches.
Did you make these these they're like lights coming out?
No, those were rented from Newell,
Oh.
one of our premier prop houses in New York.
Mhm.
I don't know if they've ever rented those before because I saw them and knew they'd be perfect for here, and we got them in. And there are many pieces. They're carved alabaster, so they're very very heavy
Oh yeah.
and very fragile. And when we assembled it, we realized that the lamps had never been electrified and never lit. So our in-house electrician spent some time electrifying those. There's a pair of them, and my favorite detail in this room actually are the chairs.
Yeah.
Those we had
Peekaboo.
altered. We bought I think 75 chairs and gave them to our fabricator to recover them in the orange vinyl, and then do the cutout in the back, and then add all the brass tacks. And then my favorite little detail is the handle on the top.
Oh.
Um, and I like these so much. I had enameled little badges made for the crew. So
Oh.
we all have little badges of these chairs.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. The handle detail is fantastic. Old school. Old school.
Well, that showed up in Scott's research, and there was a dilemma of can we afford to do these chairs because they were they were pricey, but so I think important to the room because they really do
Yeah, pop.
that detail really helps sell it. So we found room in the budget to do it, and yeah, I love those.
How many pianos did you rent for this film? Because there's a lot of, aren't there like 4 or 5
Oh,
pianos?
there's three.
Three?
I think we reused the one in the nightclub.
Mm.
There was a black piano there, a baby grand or a grand.
Oh, God. And so doing these musical numbers, does the choreographer say like I need 45, 45 degrees here. I need 45 feet or I need 30 feet or I need do they tell you that? Or they
Yes and no. They
yeah.
With choreography changes all the time, and that's something that we dealt with for all the musical numbers. They'd have it set one day, saying yeah, 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 and then the next day it's all changed again. So there was a lot of back and forth in terms of what the spatial needs were for, particularly the last number, the only in the movies number, and also in the Where You Are number where they're dancing in the boxes.
Oh, right.
But
Oh,
for something like this scene, the mambo, or the ballroom earlier in the film, it's a given they're going to need as much floor space as they can get.
yeah.
So you just keep that in mind.
Mm.
But I think the interaction, like when we get to the everyday man in the dark room,
Yeah.
there were very specific needs there with a cart that had to move, a light switch on a wall at a certain height that doesn't make sense, but that's how it was choreographed. So they would ask for things, we would give to them. Many times we would give them rehearsal pieces, and they become so accustomed to those, we then had to retrofit something into an already designed set that were to those specifications that didn't quite fit what we had in mind. So
Right.
there was a bit of back and forth with that, but it all turned out in the end. But
Oh, yeah.
it's tricky when you give them something to rehearse with, and then they feel like they can't veer from
Yeah.
that. But then you can't find something that's the right color and size and affordability for the actual when you go to do the real set.
Yeah. It's the same problem with stunts.
Yeah.
Stunts. That's the same thing. You give them the room and then they found a chair they like and you're like, well, we don't have any chairs here. Like
Right.
and then this village that you also built. I mean, it's a 360 of just character here. How did you are is this based off of anything or this is completely you?
It's no, it's based on one in particular, but a couple of different MGM musical
Mm.
sets. Yolanda and the Thief had a South American village set that's much bigger than ours, and it was an exterior backlot thing that was wonderfully textural, like this, and similar shapes. And then the arcade on the left hand side of the image, that's a nod to this standing set that they used over and over again for their South American themed musicals.
Mhm.
So it's once again doing our best to be inspired by what we've seen.
And then I mean all of these are dressed. I mean this is a pretty big dress. Was this last, did you say? Or this was first?
It wasn't.
It wasn't. Oh.
It was the
Kind of
big,
in the middle.
Oh.
yeah, it's a big set that took the
Yeah.
most labor and time and all of it. It was supposed to have. We barely see it in the movie. The,
Yeah,
the shots are
it's
so
disappointing
because
that
they
we.
didn't have enough extras. So
Mm.
they were trying to hide the fact that their
Do I have one
their
of the
cornfields
extras?
are so
No.
populated.
Mm.
But the interiors were fully
Yeah.
dressed. The bar had a lot of great details in it. You can see it there, but you don't really see it in the film. All and that was all four walls. And then we did a hat shop. We did
Oh.
a couple of other interiors that you don't even catch a glimpse of.
No. And then for this, I mean, you have a lot of aging and painting here. If you're building this, is did you feel like you had enough time to dress it? Because painters get in there, it's a lot of aging. It's kind of like screws me up all the
We
time.
Yeah, we had enough time for this
Yeah.
because it's such a large set. It's easier when it's a large set because the scenics can be in one corner. We can do go elsewhere. So I felt like we had time to do this. I don't
Yeah.
think there was a crunch. Do you, Scott, to get this ready?
We're such a well-oiled machine too. You came in as soon as painters were out of the way and started layering in your pieces. It was good.
Is this is this a green screen around the whole set or is that painted backing
It's it's added in post.
added in post? Oh. I didn't.
That's not what's in the movie. That's just...
Oh, I was gonna say that's a big. And then more greens and the growth and everything that you show is fantastic. I know there's sets that I didn't get to, but I'm glad I got through a lot. So thank you.
This has been a pleasure.
Oh, good. Thank you so much. I hope to see you at like ADG, Oscar, any of those. I hope your names are in the envelopes. So congratulations on the film. It's really, really beautiful. Really.
Thank you. Tell your friends.
Thanks, Kim. Thanks so much.
Tell me what?
Tell your friends. We need people to go see it.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Well,
On the big screen, of course.
of course. Well, you have to. You can't see this small. You can't. It's a theater film. So yes, definitely. Well, congratulations. It's really great. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great to meet you. Okay. Bye-bye.
See ya.
I really loved hearing all the influence from American in Paris, Ziegfeld Follies, and, you know, the great Ziegfeld and all of his inspiration from MGM. There's a great book called MGM-style about Cedric Gibbons and Edwin Willis. And I think, I don't know if I'm ready yet, but I am releasing the Art of Influence masterclass that I have about Cedric Gibbons and Edwin Willis. So this was so timely for me because they are so fresh in my memory in all of their films and influence. But to see again how the influence from decades ago still impacts our cinema is just really great. It's exciting because it's innovative. Like, you know, it's not exactly the same. They've made it fresh for today's film. So I hope you check out Kiss of the Spider Woman. And again, you can see the video on the YouTube channel. Yeah, that was fun. I really enjoyed talking to those two, I gotta say. Yes. All right. So I told you in the beginning, I got a lot coming up. I gotta get to it. There's a lot of good stuff. So stick around. This is going to be a great award season. I'm telling you right now. Again, make sure you hit up the YouTube channel. Go look at it, everything. I just want you to look at it. That's all. So yeah. All right. I know you got an earful. I'm Kim Wanup for Decorating Pages.